Well, here we are, Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. I'm Larissa. This is my video diary. Mm, yeah. So yesterday, yesterday, I finished putting together the January issue of the One of Monthly. And so my publication, the first two, I thought I was going to do it quarterly. Did the first two, called them quarterly. And I just decided that I'm going to do it monthly. I have, I generate enough content that I can, and things in a business are fluid enough, meaning, like stuff's changing frequently enough that, a monthly publication is warranted, and is very doable. So it's all put together, and I just got to finish proofing it and everything. And I will have first issue. I don't know, maybe I'll switch it up and do the first issue for December. I don't know, maybe I will. I could. I could. I don't know. I mean, like, why wait a whole month, right? Except there's stuff that I want to like reveal for the new year. Is there value to that? Maybe. Yeah, I think I'll just wait until January, like my original plan. Because I don't know what holiday season is going to be like now. So my first holiday season, I should just let things be as they are and see how it goes. Right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's good. Yeah. And yesterday, Omar went to the grocery store and I told him to get some green vegetables. Right? I said, oh, whatever looks interesting, whatever you want. So he comes back and he got two green vegetables. He got broccoli rabe and he got Brussels sprouts. So now I got to figure out how to mix those in, what to prepare those with, right? And like how to prepare those. I've been thinking about it, thinking about it, and stuff that I have down there right now. So today, and also, just schedule wise, like when I'm home and have time to cook something a little more involved as opposed to something that takes a little more time. So today is game day, right? There's a game today. Oh no, not today. There's no game today. Game's not till Tuesday. So I got time to do whatever I want, right? I got other stuff to do too. I'm gonna. I got some laundry to tend to. I got some dusting and sweeping I want to do, and I'm gonna make a nice breakfast, and I'm gonna make a pot of soup for dinner. So this is what I'm gonna do. I made these gnocchi. So a gentleman gave me a bag of frozen gnocchi to try. From his restaurant, and they're not gnocchi that he makes. He buys them, and they're not gnocchi like I make gnocchi. Like they're not real gnocchi. They're I mean they're a dumpling. I mean a gnocchi is a potato pasta dumpling. Um, so I mean it's not a dumpling like chicken and dumplings kind of thing, right? Chicken and dumplings, that's like a biscuit, right? That's not what, but it's a dumpling, and it's anyway. They have a little bit of cheese in the middle. They have a little bit different texture than like what I think of as gnocchi, what I used to make, what I make gnocchi with. So I tried making some the other night. I didn't know what they were going to be like, and um, did them with pesto and some shrimps. Oh my God, I haven't eaten animal in a number of months now, and I should not have. I ate shrimps and it made me sick. I can't eat animals. I can't do it. They're so delicious, but I can't eat them. Um, but Omar ate them, and they were good. I mean, they were good. They were good. They were good. They were good. I was just in a lot of pain. I had a lot of pain. I when I seafood, meat, whatever, you know, makes my joints hurt and I get swelling and stuff. I just can't eat it. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with these dumplings because the texture is such that they did not hold up real well in sauce, right? Like if you were going to when the gnocchi that I make, um, if they hold up in sauce, right? You can put them in a pan and simmer them in some sauce and finish them in the sauce, right? And that's how gnocchi is usually done. These you can't do that with. If you once you put them in the sauce and start to simmer them in the sauce, it has to be a real quick flip on them, right? So if you have like if you have prepared sauces and you have a line, right, that you're cooking on, that's a little more reasonable, but that's not what I was doing. So when I simmered them, they kind of fell apart. They still tasted good and everything, but they didn't hold their shape and stuff. So I was thinking about like how I'm going to do this, what I'm going to do with these to how I'm going to treat them. And I have these Brussels sprouts, and I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to treat them like gnocchi at all. I'm going to treat them like dumplings. Um, so I'm going to do a Brussels sprout, a lemon Brussels sprout soup. I have a bunch of lemons down there from our lemon tree, and I have some real nice tomatoes and things, and I'm gonna make a lemon Brussels sprout soup, and then I'm going to boil the gnocchi. I'm going to boil the gnocchi and put those in individually into the bowls of soup. So, like I'll boil them for each bowl of soup. I'm not going to like make a whole mess of them and have them sit because you can't do that. You know, I don't normally do that with gnocchi anyway. But you know, like I don't know, these are just a little more delicate, which was interesting to me. You know, like the gnocchi that I make are a little more hearty, right? They stand up. So uh, these are a little more delicate. And so if I boil them immediately and then put them directly into the soup, it'll be a nice little dumpling in this lemon Brussels sprout soup that I'm going to make. So that'll be good. And then um, I still have a couple zucchinis down there, and I have a couple potatoes. I'm going to do a zucchini potato. I'm going to grate it. You know, do it. I was going to do fried zucchinis. You know, breaded and fried zucchinis, and do like a layered kind of thing with some red sauce or whatever. But then I was like, oh, it's like, you know, fried zucchini. That's I wanted them for breakfast. So I'm gonna do a zucchini potato pancake this morning. And then I'm going to make a fresh tomato sauce. I have some fresh tomatoes. I'm going to chop them up and give them a light saute. And so we'll have the zucchini pancake, and then I'll toast a little bit of cheese on top of that, right? Once I take them out of, I'm going to do a shallow fry on those. And then I'll take them off and let them drip on paper towel, and then I'll put them in the toaster oven with a piece of cheese on them to melt some cheese on top, and then I'll make that while the zucchinis are while the pancakes are dripping, then I will make like I said a fresh tomato. I'll dice up a couple tomatoes real fine and put that and cook them and stuff with some onion and balsamic, and then I'll put that on top of that, and then I have fresh arugula, and then I'll put a fried egg on top of that. That's what we're gonna have for breakfast today. I think that sounds good, huh? I could just do thinly sliced tomatoes. I might do that instead because a tomato sauce, that's going to be a whole bunch of pots and pans to clean. So maybe I'll do that. I'll do like a tomato carpaccio. I'll cut the tomatoes real thin and just marinate them in some vinegar and oil and put those on because I think that'll be good and be like a little bit of salad on top. And that'll cut down, like I said, on pots and pans that need to be cooked and also on cooking time. Hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. That's what we're going to have for breakfast. So I'm going to go down and make for breakfast today. Yeah, and then later on have that lemon Brussels sprout soup. I don't have any chickpeas down there. I have white beans. I can do white beans in the soup. I could do white beans. Yeah, do white beans in the soup. And then to go with the soup, I have that spelt bread I baked earlier and do like make crostinis. I'll make crostinis for dipping in the soup. That sounds good, huh? I think so. Anyway. Yeah, so I got this flour. It says it's spelt flour. I don't think it is. I think it's whole wheat. Um, Spelt flour is slick and it has a little different flavor than wheat. And so this flour that I bought that was marked spelt. I don't think it is. It's whole wheat. The way it behaved, because that's the other things. Like when it rose out instead of up, like rye. So or like whole wheat. So I don't think it's when I spelt rises up. Spelt rises up. So I don't think this. I think this whatever this grain is that they sold as spelt, it is not spelt. And the other things, every other time I bought spelt flour, it didn't have the hull. It didn't have the hull in it. You know. And this had definitely had germ on it in it. It had germ. So I mean the bread's good and it's nut. It's kind of slightly nutty or whatever, but it's not. It doesn't taste like spelt to me. And the dough didn't feel like spelt either. Right. There's a stiffness or a shortness, a little bit of a shortness to the spelt dough that this did not have. So, like I said, this was like the lignans were very long in this, and spelt dough that anytime I've used spelt in the past, or maybe what I had in the past wasn't spelt and this was. I don't know. All I know is what I've used, what was called spelt before. Whatever I bought this last time is not the same as what the spelt was that I had bought before. Yeah. Yeah. I've made enough bread to know. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. And I should make enough of those zucchini potato pancakes that Omar can then um like there'll be leftover ones, so Omar can just like pop one in the toaster oven and have it for breakfast. Right? Just eat it like a tater tot, like a McDonald's tater tot. Dip it in some ketchup. We'll have it fancy today, but then he can, have it easy for the rest of the week. Yeah, Brussels sprouts. Yeah, so I'm not going to use all the Brussels sprouts that I have down there for that. I'll save some of those Brussels sprouts and then I'll shave what's left of the Brussels sprouts and do shaved Brussels sprouts with like potato hash browns or roasted cubed potatoes. Um, I could almost do like a slaw and then scrambled eggs. Just these are dinners. And then he got broccoli rabe, and so what I'll do with the broccoli rabe, I have some rigatoni down there, so I can do a lemon garlic white bean um, like sauce, and um, well, I do the lemon garlic butter, and then I'll saute the broccoli rabe in that, and then take the broccoli rabe out and set that aside, and then mix in the white beans and pour that white bean butter garlic lemon sauce over the rigatoni and then sit the broccoli rabe when I plate it with the broccoli rabe over the top. So I'll do that. Rigatoni. Rigatoni. Got a box of rigatoni. I did a rigatoni bake was it last week? I wanted lasagna is what I wanted. And I had thought that I was going to make lasagna noodles, but I didn't have the eggs when I went to go do it. And so I had a box of rigatoni, and so I did like a veggie. It was like a veggie lasagna except with rigatoni bake, and it wasn't the same. Of course, it wasn't. It wasn't the same. I mean, the shape of the noodle really does change the way your mouth and your you know engages with the flavors, right? The way they're distributed and whatever. I mean, it was good and everything, but it could have been baked a little bit longer. I mean, it was cooked all the way through, but it could have been baked a little bit longer to make it stiffer. So I could have cut it like pasticcio kind of thing, you know? That's what I was trying for was like that pasticcio texture. Pasticcio. I haven't had pasticcio in so long. Of course, there was no meat in what I made. Pasticcio. Pasticcio moussaka. So good. Those were good things. Yeah. No, little mix of the Greek and the Italian there, right? Anyway, this woman comes in yesterday to the gallery. Someone who participated in a dog calendar. And she's like, "Oh, you have them?" I'm like, I'm like, "Well, yeah, you go, put in your order to reserve them." She's like, "Oh, you mean I got to come back?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Well, I don't care about anybody else's dog. I just care about mine." I'm like, "Why did you participate?" Like, whatever. What are you coming into my What are you coming into my shop for, bitch? Don't come back. That was, I mean, it was just like, who are you? Who are you? Like, you were all excited. You come in, I tell you about the dog calendar. You're all excited about the dog calendar. Seriously. And so she comes back like a week later. Like, I held off. She's like, "Is there still time for me to bring my dogs in?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got, but you got to get them in this day." So we made this big deal. She comes in with her dogs. I photograph her dogs. I don't see her. Like, these are the only two times I had interacted with her before today. Was the time she came in. She's like, "Oh yeah, I live around here. I have dogs. They're really cute. Blah blah blah." I'm like, "All right, whatever." She comes in, has her dogs photographed for this calendar, and then when she stops in yesterday, she's like, "I don't care about anybody else's dogs. I'm not getting your calendar." I'm like, "Oh, were you expecting a free one?" Like, I think there's a few people who think that they're getting thought they were going to get free calendars just because I photographed their dog. It's like, no, 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 no. Where are people's heads? Why would I take a picture of your dog to give you a free calendar? Just People are so entitled. They just expect free shit. Like, all right. So, when I do the next one, if she comes back around with her dogs, I'll be like, "No, thank you. I don't want your dogs on my calendar." And this is her dogs. She brought them in. The dogs were real sweet and everything. They're all covered in sticks, and I'm making jokes about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, my dogs, they're just natural." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like Brody too, whatever." And she's like, "What?" Like, I think she thought she was like tainting the calendar with all the other manicured dogs in the calendar. It's just like, weird. Don't come back. Don't come back. I don't want you to have any of my art. That's how I feel. So, people who appreciate what I did, I'll be more than happy to sell them as many calendars as they fucking want. Yeah. People are weird. People are very, very weird. Very, very, very weird. So last night for dinner, it was Saturday night, so we went out to dinner. We went to the other Japanese restaurant. So there's two Japanese restaurants in Saratoga. There's Hochicha Hochi, and then there's Masu. And Hochicha Hochi is like, it's billed as a very authentic Japanese restaurant. And he follows some techniques and methods and stuff, and has prepares things that are a little more unusual kind of thing. Um, and Masu is more sushi oriented. They have a bigger sushi menu, and um, it's a little more like mainstream kind of thing, right? So, I mean, they're both good. They're different. They're different from each other, but they're both good. So last night we went to Masu. I had udon. Yeah, Hachicha doesn't have like that kind of stuff. They don't have soba. They don't have udon. They don't have what else don't they have on the menu? I don't even know. They don't have katsu, stuff like that. So like Masu has that kind of thing on the menu. Yeah, there was a Japanese place in Berkeley that had really good cold soba. It was really 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 good, really 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 good. So buckwheat noodles, the cold soba noodles there's like a vinaigrette dressing that goes on them. Um, Really good. And then there's like a cucumber thing that goes with it, and I used to go there for lunch every now and then. Every now and then, but there would be like a line out the door. And there was some Japanese school nearby. I don't know. There was always like a group of Japanese schoolgirls, school kids, that would come in just at lunchtime. So there was some sort of like Japanese school that was around in that neighborhood there. I don't know where, and I don't know what it was, but they'd come in their little uniforms and they'd sit down. And they'd have their lunch. Yeah, that was a good restaurant. I don't even remember what it was called. It was weird. Like from the outside, from the outside, it didn't look like much of anything, right? It was, it wasn't like the Korean restaurants that have no windows. That cracks me up. Go into the city, you go into Oakland, and the Korean restaurants have no windows. It's like, what's going on in there? They're making Korean food. Yeah. Yeah, no, the Korean restaurants down in LA were like that too, if I remember correctly. It's like some sort of aesthetic. Korean restaurants don't have windows. No, but this restaurant was on a corner, this Japanese place, and it was like this kind of like tan brick facade on the outside, and it had the name of the restaurant just in like simple black iron letters, um, mounted on the wall, on the outside wall, and there was like a window right in the corner where the door was, right? The corner had a window where you'd go in, but then it was an interesting, it was, and everything very, very like the way that the restaurant was laid out was kind of cafeteria esque in that it was on a like the floor was a grid pattern, and the tables were, um I mean, it didn't look like a school cafeteria, but I'm thinking like office cafeteria kind of thing. Um, and they had tatami placemats, and it was very, natural colors. There wasn't there weren't colorful abstract paintings, or there was simple curtain back to go back into the kitchen. It was a very, very Japanese aesthetic, very flat. Kind of reminded me like when you see the houses that have the Japanese houses that are kind of up on platforms, and they have the sliding soji screens and things in between that kind of a that it was that kind of aesthetic. It was very simple, very, very minimalist. Um, the food was really good. Yeah, but I always had the cold soba because it was like the only place in town that had it. It was cold soba noodles. Yeah, last night I had udon. It was good. Oh, Brody's at the door. Hey, mister. You want in? You want in here? Come on back. I heard him. Come on. You gonna come in? Hi. Hi, you coming up? Come on. Hi, mister. Hey, did you go outside and did you do chickens with daddy? Did you? Are you giving kisses? Were you eating chicken poop, and do you have rat hole snout? Did you have your snout down in rat holes? Hmm? I don't know. He must have. He's like, yes, I did. Come on, come back up here. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Hey, mister. Come on. Come back up here, buddy. Hey, mister. How are you? How are you today? You get your tail? You get your tail? Oh, you're getting sticks out of your tail. Oh, you get your tail? Oh, you're fancy. Oh, that tail's on your ass. It's on your ass, buddy. It's on your ass. Get it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Did you get it? Oh, you got it. Oh, my goodness. Are you being funny? Are you being funny? Are you being funny? Are you being funny? Are you showing off? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Are you handsome as boy? Oh, my goodness. You got all kinds of stuff in your fluff. Do you need to go see Yomiko? Do you need to go see Yomiko? Do you? Do you need to see Yomiko? I think he needs to go see Yumiko. He's got a lot of stuff in his fluff. I hope Yumiko will take him back. I hope she will. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Yeah. Yes, I know. He's over here sniffing. I got my sweater. The sweater. Is my sweater stinky? Does my sweater need washed? Does my sweater need washed? Is my sweater stinky? Oh my god. He's cleaning his footy foots. So, I want to talk about the news about Gaza. I don't want to talk about it. Mister, you don't need to clean the floor with your tongue to live here, buddy. You don't need to do that. Mommy loves you. We're happy to have you here. You don't need to do that. Thank you. Mister. He gets all sheepish. And, like, he'll do this downstairs in the dining room a little bit, too. Like, if I'm in the kitchen and I give him a couple treats and I'm busy doing stuff, and he'll get all sheepish and be like, oh, you know. If I'm like extra nice to him, and then, or if I'm cleaning, he'll come in, he'll start licking the floor. I'm like, you don't need to do that, buddy. You don't need to use your tongue to clean. He's happy to be here with us, and we're happy to have him. Yep, he's a good boy. Are you a good boy? Are you best? Yes, you're a good boy. He's wagging his tail. He's so good. I don't know. I'd like him to come into work with me sometimes, but it's not worth the vomit in the car. It's not. And he gets car sick. He doesn't always get car sick. It's just when he's super anxious, you know? It's just no fun. It's just no fun. Yeah. I'm sure being in Gaza is no fun, right? It's not even a comparison. I keep getting stuff in my YouTube feed about it, you know, people talking about it or whatever. And then you see the different videos, like giant American Jews protesting in DC, you know, about support of Israel over this. And meanwhile, Biden's giving a speech about stomping out anti-Semitism while he's got, you know, thousands of Jews in his front yard telling him to shut up. It's just, oh my God. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. All of it. And it's like none of the Western countries, none of the countries that are supporting Israel really care about the Israelis or the Palestinians, either one. The only thing that anybody cares about is having access to Israeli Air Force bases, right? That is the only reason anybody gives a shit about that country, is over that and potential access to oil in the Golan Heights. So, you know, our tax dollars at work. So I saw another news clip story. It was from Fox News. It was on the tubes view here, saying that Netanyahu is has loosened gun control laws in Israel, so it's easier for Israelis to get guns. And here's Biden supporting this, and it's like, oh, okay, so it's okay for Israelis to have guns, but you don't want Americans to have guns. It's like none of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense at all. None of it makes any sense at all. Right? So, oh. I have no interest in going to Israel. All this Holy Land this, Holy Land that. I have no interest. Zero interest. It's just so exploitative. Oh my God. Yeah. So the next issue, the January issue of the One of Monthly, is a heavy hitter. It is. It's a heavy hitter. Very heavy hitter. Yeah. I don't know. The next 12 months doing this publication is going to be really interesting. So I have the painting after this painting series. After this painting series is done, I am taking a break from painting, right? Maybe like an entire year. Take a break from painting, and I'm going to focus on other things. Um, whether it is drawings, you know, I've been working in this large scale, so I might move down, take a step back from from working in large scale and start working in small scale. Um, I've done a bunch of political cartoons, which, you know, that form of drawing is not my forte, but I might spend some time on that, and kind of refine those skills, bring those skills back up. I used to be better at it, but it's an exercise, right? Like it's a muscle. You got to work it to really do well at it. So I might focus on that. Um, yeah, smaller stuff. Yeah, smaller scale things. Because there for a while I was working in small scale, and then I started to work in really big scale, and it's interesting to go back and forth between the two formats, because working big is very different than working very small. And this series that I'm working on right now, the studies were done small, not super small, not micro small, but small, 10-inch by 10-inch. The studies are 10 inches by 10 inches, and I've blown them up to 40 inches by 40 inches. Um, and that's kind of this macro micro idea that I've been playing with in some other series as well, like the watercolor series that I did, um, the diatoms and microbes, big picture, little picture series, right? Like I had I did those small squares that were tempera, that were landscapes, and then I did the really large format that were microscopic kind of thing. It's macro, micro kind of dichotomy. And so I went from that to then working on those really, in that really large format for that large painting. And then this series kind of going back to the back and forth with the small to large, small to large, small to large. And so I need to bring things back down again. It's just, kind of like ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. So focus on smaller stuff, particularly in line drawing, cartoon line drawing, um, and because I think I'd like to bring a little more graphic nature to paintings in the future. Anyway, I'd like to do some more deconstructed encaustics. However, that process is takes up a lot of space, right? And I need to focus on work that I have on hand right now. I need to have a lot of space in order to do that work. And right now I just don't have that space, right? Like if I'm working on those deconstructed encaustics, it's going to take up the whole studio space to do. So anyway, yeah. Plus, it's going to be interesting. When I was doing those deconstructed encaustics, my studio space was in my living space, and I have to be able to watch the surface of the paint on the prepared surface, because there's only a very short window in which the surface is workable for that process. And so, I have to be real careful about like when I prepare those and what the temperature is like. It's like, okay, am I going to sleep in the gallery for, a couple times just to watch those surfaces? What am I going to do? Like, I don't even know. So that's out in the future. That's out here somewhere. That's not up here. And like I said, I don't have the space for working on those pieces right now anyway. But it is in my peripheral. I've been collecting materials for that purpose. Um, yeah. So we will see. We will see. We will see. But yeah, once I'm done with this painting series, I'm going to take a break from painting for a while, focus on other things. whether it is craft oriented object, art object, um, or smaller scale drawings, like I said, or maybe some more mixed media work. I don't know. It's all going to depend on where I decide to go with concept, right? And what's going to read best, what's going to deliver concept the best, right? That's ultimately how I choose medium, is what's going to deliver the concept. And that I need to focus that rug is the next big thing, right? It's going to be a large scale thing. So yeah. Anyway, all of that, and then the monthly publication. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, and yesterday I did something. I did an action yesterday. I did. I did an action yesterday. I might write about it. I want to see how things pan out first. So I'm sure I'll hear something. I'm sure I'll hear something. I will. I'm sure I'll hear something. It'll be interesting to see what it is. It'll be interesting to see whether, like, you know, whether they pretend like nothing happened. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Anyway. I don't know what he's cleaning up down there in the kitchen. I have no idea because I didn't cook here. I didn't cook anything here yesterday. I made breakfast at the gallery and I washed those dishes. And then we went out to dinner. So I don't know what he's doing down there. I have no idea.